listening to the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show. My name is Curtis. This is a variety talk show where we talk about life, relationships, gossip, and news. There could be some profanity, but definitely lots of laughs. All right, folks, once again, welcome. You are listening to your host. My name is Curtis, and you have tuned into the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show here on Spreaker. So once again, welcome. We appreciate you taking your time out of your day or your evening to find out what we're doing here on Spreaker. Once more, the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show. I've got my lovely and beautiful co-host sitting to my left here, and she's got something to say.
I always have something to say, huh?
Of course.
Thank you for introducing me as being so beautiful and whatever else you said. You know, it's nothing but the truth.
Of course. because you are beautiful. That's why.
Yeah, baby. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I want to thank everyone if they're listening to us live. Thank them for sharing this time with us. Sharing their important time with us.
Absolutely.
Because what is tonight? It's Empire Night. So if you are a fan of Empire and you are not watching it, rather than instead you are listening to us, we appreciate it. But chances are that's not the case.
Most definitely.
Because Empire is the bomb.
Yeah,
and the only reason
why
why Curtis and I are not watching it is because we ditched cable and we have to wait for it to come on Hulu tomorrow.
So it's not so bad. So we just have to keep away from Facebook and all those people who want to.
Yeah, I have to sign off of that. I'm
tell us a story about it.
Don't you ruin it for me, you witches.
Right. So with that being said, Miss Jessica has the word of the day, or words of the day, thought of the day.
I decided to do something a little different rather than doing a thought of the day. Or something profound.
Up.
Well, you just mentioned it probably in error, but I am going to do a word of the day instead. I got tired of reading out that love book and blah. Anyway, also before we continue,
what's wrong with love?
What's love got to do with it?
Everything, girlfriend.
Whatever. So anyway, before I continue on with the word of the day, I think we should remind the people that this show is live.
Right.
What we do say here, we can't take it back once we put it out there. We're normal. We're human. We do stuff. We say stuff. We just can't take it back.
Yeah, don't want to take it back.
Yeah, but, forget about it.
Yeah, it's no scripts, folks. This is all the way live.
It's all the way live.
Yeah, it's all the way live.
We got some old school people out there to listen to. Well, what was that considered? Was that like disco?
Yeah, it sounds like disco.
And who was that anyway? Was that
It was James Brown, I think.
No, it wasn't. It's all the way live.
Yeah.
I think that was something like one of them old school bands from like the 70s.
I'm not sure, but hey, if you know, folks, if you're out there, listening to us here on Spreaker.
If
you're out there and you know who it is, email us. Email us at the Curtis and Jessica Variety Show at
Variety Talk Show, man.
Is it Variety Talk Show?
I told you it's live, folks.
Sorry,
we mess up.
But nevertheless, if you know the answer to that song, It's All the Way Live, hey, email us again.
It's all the way live.
The Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show at gmail.com. Once more, the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show at gmail.com.
Wasn't it like... Oh, I'm sorry.
Would love to hear from you.
Wasn't it like something like Funkadelic or something?
Yeah, something like that. So definitely 70s. Definitely 70s, yeah.
So anyway, let me go. We digressed. So let me go ahead and go back to the word of the day for Wednesday, September 30th, 2015. The word of today, or the word of the day, is burling. Burling. Burling is a game played by lumberjacks in which each tries to bounce longest on a floating log while rotating the log with their feet. Did you ever do this when you were like in summer camp? You went log rolling?
Of course.
It is like so super fun.
Lots of fun. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's the word of the day, burling.
Burling. What made you come up with that word?
It's actually the word of the day, for real.
I know. I missed the love thing.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that love thing was kind of fun. It was kind of cool. Made me all tingly inside and warm and just...
What's wrong with you? Are you sick?
Yeah, just...
You must be coming down with something then.
Right. Maybe it's the burling. But in any event, folks, once more, we've got some great stuff that we're going to be talking about here on this evening. and that is our Wednesday show. So once more, we thank you for tuning in to such a special occasion. Besides just Empire Evening, and it's just a grand occasion. So we thank you for tuning in to such an awesome show, and we've got some great things that we're going to be talking about. And I'll let Jessica lead the way in regards to, at least for now, telling us what she's going to be talking about, and then thereafter we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Go ahead, Jessica.
Well, I just found out who used to do All the Way Live.
Oh boy, who?
It was Lakeside.
Lakeside, yes.
Let's do the Lakeside Stank. So slide, slippity slide.
Yes,
Forget
yes.
about the worries in the 9 to 5. Just sail on. That's what you do. Just sail on.
What you agree? Anyways,
You don't know the words. Ew.
yeah, everybody does that when they don't know the words.
That was.
With the do.
Yeah.
Everybody does that.
Which one was that? Oh my goodness.
I don't even know that it was
We were
Lakeside.
like kids when that came
Yeah.
out. So
I was a little kid, but you were probably grown.
well, I thought I was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So
Any event,
that was.
what do you got on the agenda there?
No, I want to talk about the music. Anyway, let's see. We talked about the word of the day, which was great. Oh, you didn't even mention what the title of our show was.
Oh, wow, silly me. Wow, crazy.
Oh, brother.
Anyway, then, folks, the title of this evening's show is Taking It Off. Take it off, baby. Yeah. In event, that is the title of our show, and we'll show you what we're going to be taking off, or at least.
Well, they can't see it.
Well, you'll hear what's
They
being
can
taken off.
probably Hear it. Though.
In the event, folks, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with our topics.
What happens when your computer goes kaput?
What? Oh, come on! Not now!
You could buy a new one.
Yeah, but have you seen my bank account lately?
Maybe have a friend try to fix it.
Oops. Sorry about that.
Or you could call the local experts, Computer Clinic. At Computer Clinic, they can bring a dead computer back to life. PC, Mac, whatever. And they guarantee the lowest prices in the region. Stop procrastinating and call Computer Clinic now at 423-TECH. That's 314-423-8324. And computer repair is only the start. Computer Clinic can take care of any computer need that you might have, including smartphone, iPhone, and iPad repair. And if you own a small business, then call Computer Clinic. From network setup to data recovery to phone system repair, if it involves a computer, then Computer Clinic can do it. And they'll do it for a lot less than anyone else in town. Call Computer Clinic now. 423-TECH. 314-423-8324.
All right, folks, we are back here on the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show, here doing our thing in our studio. Any event, that's what's going on with us this evening. We're talking about taking it off. So what do you think that's about? So stay tuned. Jessica's got some good information that's going to lead you down the path of taking it off. So what you got for us, Jessica?
All right, for real though, taking it off. Well, this was an excellent title, and the reason why we decided to come up with this title is because we talked about earlier, Curtis and I did, about taking off weight. So that's what we decided to talk about, and that's one of my topics this evening, and yeah. So I just had to come to the realization not too long ago that I like food. And you'll hear us talk about food and cooking, every now and then. But Curtis brought it to my attention that sometimes that's all I do talk about is eating.
Right.
Where are we going to go next for dinner? As a matter of fact, we made a promise to one another that once we reach a certain amount of listeners, that we were going to go to this slamming ass steakhouse. I have it written on the board that we're going to go to this steakhouse once we reach X number of listeners. We're almost there. I'm so excited. But anyway, here I go.
So if you want, you can help Jessica get to the steakhouse if you want. So tune in, folks, and listen to our show and play it some more, and you'll get Jessica to the steakhouse.
Which is really funny because I don't like meat. I don't like red meat. Now, I'll eat a hot dog, but they got to be all beef. I'll do that every now and then. I'll also enjoy a hamburger. But in terms of any type of steak, or I'll even do some ribs. But the moment I chew on something that's a little too tough or a little red or just, I'm done. I can't. And it's really funny. We talk about going to the steakhouse that we like so much. And I don't even like the stuff. Now, Curtis, he'll go and he'll eat something, kind of big, like taking up the whole plate.
Right. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
I can't do it. I just cannot do it. How about those folks that go over to the Big Texan and they eat those big old gigantic steaks, and that it's like a challenge. So you have to eat like this whole side of cow, and then you have
I think it's, to be exact, I think it's 72 ounces.
Yeah, there you go. I can
ounces.
remember.
Yeah.
72 ounces of meat.
That's a lot of
That's
cow.
grotesque.
Yeah, that's a
and
lot.
And then, not only that, in order to get that steak for free, because it probably costs about
It's over $100. Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
So in order to get that for free, you have to eat the whole plate of meat. You have to have the baked potato. You have to eat the dinner roll.
Yeah.
You have to have the appetizer. You have to have
What's the dessert
the
as well?
green salad.
Does dessert included it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
How gross is that? And then they put a big old honking trash can next to you so that you can chew it up, and when you feel the urge to throw up,
That's gross.
you can
That's
turn
gross.
your head into the trash
Is
can
this-
and throw up.
Is this your topic, taking it off? Because it sounds like you may have digressed. So is this your topic?
No, I'm talking
Okay.
about food.
Yeah, I know, but it's just...
And how food can make you weigh a whole bunch of weight, and then your clothes don't fit. So the topic really is taking off some weight. And it's not really necessarily about what you eat. It's about how and when you eat it.
Right.
So I'm learning this, and I'm so excited because now I've lost about like 11 pounds. So I'm not that I was really fat or anything, but, as we get older, our metabolism slows down. So I can't just roll a chair up and sit down at the buffet anymore and just eat and gourmandize.
Yeah, and say give me 3 cheeseburgers?
Yeah, I mean,
Can't do that anymore?
I can't go to places like those all-you-can-eat joints like Furs and get like...
Oh, I love Furs.
And get like 6 plates of food.
Good stuff.
I just can't do it.
Whatever happened to Furs? You guys know about that out there?
Yeah,
Whatever happened to Furs? I mean, you know what? We seen one not too long ago, but they're like few and far between right now.
Yeah, they all closed up. All the people ate all their food
Good stuff. Good. Anyways, good stuff. So let me ask you about this weight thing, taking it off.
Yeah.
What do you suggest to people who are having issues with taking it off, or people who love food? I love food as well.
And that's the thing with this program. You can love food still.
Right.
You just can't love as much of it.
Right.
Don't deprive yourself of the things that you enjoy.
Right.
But there's some things that you're going to have to tweak.
Now, is it also a matter of changing your perspective and putting your your passion for food or needs to go in a different direction?
No, you can still be passionate about food, but being passionate about a piece of pie versus a whole pie is something totally different.
Passionate about all 8 slices, huh?
Yeah. Being passionate
that's funny.
about drinking what are those? I don't drink a lot of soda anymore. So what's the thing that you get from the store? It's
2 liter?
soda.
The 2 liter?
The 2 liter. Being passionate about drinking soda, you can have some soda. You can have a normal size can of soda, not a big pee the bed cup of Coke or Dr. Pepper, or drinking a 2 liter straight from the bottle.
Right.
You can't do those things.
I think the thing is, like we've talked about, and not just with taking off the weight, again, the title of this evening's show, taking it off, but I think whether it's weight, finances, it's relationships, whatever the case might be, I think it's going to be moderation. We heard one doctor say on something about the what was it, the
oranges?
Yeah, the oranges. I can't remember what show that was, but he said something about the oranges and oranges in regards to that oranges are good for you, but if you eat a whole box or a whole carton of oranges,
A whole
that-
bag,
yeah.
like the ones they sell on the street.
exactly,
A whole bag of
that's
oranges versus one.
that's a big issue. So I think, whether you're, whether you're 5 pounds overweight or, more than that, it's just moderation. It's moderation. And for me personally, I'm not a big person. Yeah, I did put some weight on, but the weight came off within a matter of time, just real quick. But the point
But
of it
that
is,
was based on, don't make it sound like you were ill or anything. It was based
No.
on your activity.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. No, I wasn't sick or anything like that. Just very busy. Job keeps me very busy. Either way, with that being said, it's same. I understand, and people, me and Jessica joke about me walking into a clinic saying, "Hey, I'm here for the weight loss program," and they're like, you better get the heck out of here.
Like, walking into the...
Right.
Hi, I'd like to get the gastric bypass surgery. Could you
Right.
give me a pamphlet?
Right. Can I get
and
some
let me know
information?
how that procedure works.
Right.
And you're sitting around all these other people, and they're like, "Are you serious?"
Right. But my point is that I think whether you're skinny or slim or fall somewhere in between or outside that range, you can have a love for food, period, and it'll catch up with you. It'll catch up with you, and especially if you're not being active enough to burn the calories off, or if you're taking if your intake is more than your outtake in regards to your activity. So if you're eating and not burning weight off being active, that's a problem. So
But I can still love food. I just can't be in love with it.
right.
Where it just
Well, that's why I was saying earlier
consumes
about
me.
changing your passion. So I mean, I guess that's the challenge. And you know what? Even bigger than that, I think people are eating or spending money. And again, one issue is not better than the other or worse off than the other. But I think when people are in those situations, it's something else going on. It's something else going on. And
Well, yeah,
it's
I mean, there's stress eating, there's emotional eating.
right, exactly.
But
Exactly.
so, I don't know. Do you think people are using stress and emotions as an excuse? If you occupy your mind with other things rather than eating, and that's where we talked about, you and I talked about vital needs. If we're getting our vital needs met,
All right. Put a hold on that, a pause on that. We'll be right back.
pause.
I'm not in town that often, but when I am, I listen to that bit there, Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show there on Spreaker. All right, we are back now. You were saying now?
Oh my God. I guess
Yeah.
that was fitting for talking about the big Texan, right?
Yeah, the big Texan.
Ew.
All right.
So anyway, I think people use stress eating and emotional eating as it's basically it's strange, but
Nope. Say what's on your mind. You're not even going to
What?
get out of this. I'm going to let you escape
Well,
on
you
this
know,
one because
you
you were
took-
going to say
I did.
it was
and
an excuse.
And you took a break. Well, I
Well,
did.
say it again.
It's an excuse because there's
Interesting.
so many other things that you can do that will. For some people, eating and overeating is a vital need for them.
Right.
So there's other things that you can do in lieu of that.
Right.
Maybe you can go out and volunteer your time. Maybe you can go out and run a mile or walk up and down the street. I don't know, but you have to find something else to do to occupy your mind.
Well, you know what?
rather than picking up the fork.
I don't know if I agree with you on that, Jessica, because I think, I think it's possible to be in a situation where you are stressing out about, or you got personal stuff going on. And with that being said, it can be so heavy that your only outlet, to the individual is to grab something, because much like with people, I think, in their pets, the animal is not going to talk back to you. You don't have to wrestle with steak again. The steak is pretty much ready to be eaten. And I think, again, those are one of those things that you don't have the situation where the food is going to talk back to you, the animal is not going to talk back to you, and you just don't have those issues. So you just go into McDonald's or go into wherever, grab something to eat, go into the kitchen and fix yourself something to eat, and you're stressing out. So I definitely think it's
But you get stressed, right?
Yeah, and
is the first
Yes.
thing you do is go into the refrigerator and get something to eat?
yeah, I do. To be honest, I do.
Oh my god.
I noticed. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, but then you're skinny though, so maybe you can afford to do that, whereas Betty Sue can't.
Well, I don't even know if it's being able to afford to do it. I think it's just a matter of it's just, my metabolism is fast and just doesn't stick with me. And not that I'm doing a whole lot of activity right now, but that's just what it is. But in any event, if you are having a situation out there loving food and much as I do,
Being in love with food. It's okay to
Right,
love the
right.
food, just don't be in love with
right,
it.
right.
and
Yeah.
let it
Again, if you're
consume you.
out there, you're having a situation and you're being in love with food and you need to find another lover or something, one of the two, or
Another lover.
another habit or something.
Make sure it's a good habit, though.
Right. Make sure it's something healthy. And again, we're all dealing with something, so don't beat yourself up about it. And take it easy, and get the help or ask the questions, and get to that place or the ideal weight, or if it's not an issue, it's not an issue. So it's one of those things. But again, if you're in need of help or someone to talk to, find someone you can talk to, or there's different centers out there, I'm sure.
Or perhaps they can reach out to us. How
Right,
would they
right.
get in contact with us?
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You can contact us at our email account. That's going to be the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show at gmail.com. Once more, the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show at gmail.com. So let us know, whatever you might be dealing with. And obviously, we're not going to call any names out. It's just private, but, it could information, your question or ideas or situation could be used to help someone else. So keep that in mind as you are sending out an email. So with that being said, I've got something that's very interesting. I'm going to save my best for last, though.
Well, I already went and blah, blah, blah about the food, so it has to be your turn.
Oh, yeah, it is my turn. But no, I've got
go.
two topics. I'm going to talk about one and save the other for last. So.
Okay.
All right. Glad we're on the right page here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm talking about a woman out of Minnesota. And guess what? She was invited to, her and her husband were invited to a wedding. Right. And due to a situation, they have two children. There were the distant relatives of the husband invited his distant cousin and his wife to their wedding. And the wedding said no children were allowed or invited.
Oh, gosh. How old were the children?
So the couple who's been invited to the wedding, they've got two children. And they're okay with that because they felt they needed some time to themselves anyways to hang out with grown folks and do the thing, whatever. And come to find out, they weren't able to make the wedding. The children got sick, or the babysitter ended up calling and canceling for that evening.
Okay.
So they were trying to find a babysitter.
Okay.
So they weren't able to find a babysitter, and then next thing you know, they just, obviously now they can't go to the wedding.
Right.
And I read the article. The article said that the woman said that she didn't call until they weren't able to make it, whatever the case might be. Her husband is talking with the now or the groom at the time, or later on after the wedding. They're talking, and he said, "Hey man, I want to apologize. I wasn't able to make it to the wedding." And he goes, and it didn't say what he said, what the new husband said, but they go on to say that later on, a few days later, like 3 days later, they receive a bill in the mail. A bill for $75 and some.
Oh, for their meal.
For their change. $75 and change, whatever.
Yep.
But the invoice actually broke it down. It was a meal and some other stuff,
Sure.
Whatever. And so what's your take on that, Jessica? Being charged for something that was very important to this couple. keep in mind though, this couple that's getting married, they're distant. And so in the article, the woman said that she didn't have a really close relationship with him. They hadn't seen him for like 12 years. So, I mean, what's your take on it?
Okay, well, I'm not Dear Abby or anything.
I just want to know what your take is on it, dear Jessica.
The groom and the wife, is that right? Yeah. The groom and bride, someone had to pay for all that. It sounds like it was probably a sit-down dinner. You said that you read the invoice of some of the stuff that was on there. So it sounds like it was probably a sit-down dinner. And so they had to pay for that based on the number of RSVPs.
Right.
What's interesting to me is if dude hadn't have said, I'm sorry we didn't make it, would he have noticed that they didn't come?
Well, I mean, think about it. If they've RSVP'd and in fact they have.
Who was taking roll?
I mean, someone is. I mean, because obviously there's meals left over. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a head count if there are, people having to RSVP. So, I don't know. I think for me, it's very interesting how people are so quick to say, hey, I'm charging you for this, blah, 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 whatever the case. Because come to find out, again, the woman did not have a babysitter. And
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
We're not
it
going to
sounds
do
like
that
it
one.
was very expensive, whatever they did. They RSVP'd. They took a seat. They took up a seat that someone else could have had.
But does it matter how expensive it was? Does that really have anything to do with anything? Because the fact that
they had to pay for that, whether you showed up or not.
But the children, she did not have a babysitter.
I don't care.
So you're hard.
I don't care.
That's tough.
So what happens when you go to one of those dentists or doctors and you don't cancel your appointment with 24 hours notice? Your babysitter got sick. You couldn't take your child with you to the doctor or the dentist. Is it fair for you to be charged and you get an invoice in the mail from them, from the office, and you're like, but my babysitter,
well,
they don't want to hear that.
If I already know that is the case and I missed that appointment due to something that was out of my control, and even though that's the case, I'm going to call. But here in this situation, the lady did not call. She did not call the couple.
It's not going to change the fact.
Whether it does or not, it's a courtesy. Say, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it due to this factor. So,
it doesn't change it. I mean,
but she did not tell her that she was going to be invoiced either. So it's one thing to go to the doctor or to the dentist and you miss the appointment for whatever reason.
Sue them. I mean, just sue them. Sue them.
Well, one of the suggestions that someone had said in the article was that, or the lady had said that a friend had given her an idea, was that she could make a donation and for that $75 and the couple's name and give them the receipt showing that they made a donation to whatever organization. So, I mean, what do you think about that?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of.
I don't know if
necessarily weird, but I think that
I can't even wrap my mind around it. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but
anyway.
In any event, I thought it was just interesting because how quick we are ready to blame people or blame someone for something and say, hey, you didn't make this. And the couple, I think that the couple who missed the wedding should have called.
Why would they call these people on their wedding day? They're getting ready to get married. They don't have
it's
time.
It doesn't mean that they have to call on a wedding day. This is 3 days later that they received an invoice. So they could have called a day after, or
it wasn't going to make a difference. They had already made up their mind that they were going to charge them.
No, we don't know
Unless he busted himself out by calling him up and saying, hey, dude, I'm sorry I didn't show up. And then the invoice went into the mail.
I don't know. It didn't say that. It just said they were talking.
Quiet.
It said they were talking after the wedding and after the conversation with the two cousins.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, he went back and told
he apologized for not making
his new bride, oh, guess what? Jackie and Daryl, they didn't make it to the wedding, so why don't we charge him? Had he not said anything, it probably
I don't know. I think if you invite someone to the wedding, you're going to be looking for the people that you invite,
they're getting married. They don't have you.
Right?
No, big wedding, busy, lots of things going on. They're not taking roll call.
Well, maybe they're taking a head count.
They're not doing
because
it.
don't people sign into some kind of book or
You
something?
can sign the guest register if you want to. It's not mandatory.
All right. So with that being said, let's sign this guest register
When's
and take a
the last
break.
time you had a big wedding?
Ooh.
Follow us, the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show, on Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, Skype, and Google+.
All right, we are back here once more. Thanks for tuning in, folks, to the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show here on Spreaker. We definitely appreciate you taking that time in your evening to join us here on this fantastic evening, this wonderful day, and this great show. So we're going to swing it back over to Miss Jessica. What you got for us?
Oh my God, today is the last day of September. Can you believe
It is. It is. September is
my
such a
God.
great
How many more
month.
Fridays do we have before Christmas?
Oh, boy, I didn't want to talk about that.
And Christmas, and pumpkin pies for
Yeah, I don't even want to.
Halloween.
I don't even want to talk about that
And-
because it's disappointing when you walk into like a
We went to Sam's
a
Club.
Sam's
and they
Club.
had-
There's a
in September, there's Christmas decorations.
Christmas decorations.
It was
They've got
fun.
Halloween decorations. They've got Thanksgiving. They've got
Yeah,
all.
they jumbled it all up together.
That's sickening to me, but nevertheless,
Whatever.
nevertheless. But
Anyway.
what do you got for
so-
us, Miss Pumpkin-y?
I know, right? See, folks, I'm always talking about food. Pumpkin pie for Halloween, and then we're going to be having the Thanksgiving foods and the Christmas foods.
Just stop it. Just stop it.
I know I'm gonna have to.
Just stop it.
I'm gonna have to eat my dinners on little plates. But moving on. Okay.
6 little plates.
All lined up. So
Anyways,
anyway, over the weekend, and we've talked about, Curtis and I have talked about this a couple of times. We were so excited about our new endeavor in narrating audiobooks and Curtis is engineering the sound. Is that right? Engineering
yeah.
the sound and mastering it.
yeah.
And so, and he wears two hats. He's a engineer, sound engineer, and engineer of mastering engineer.
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah. Anyway, so we worked so hard, and for those of you who have been listening to us, you know that we've been working on this project for like a super long time. So anyway, we finally finished it over the weekend. That was the weekend that I missed my dinner. Oh, there I go, talking about food.
Yeah, she was hurting too, folks.
Yeah, my
She
body was
hurting.
feeding upon itself. So anyway, we got this audiobook out, and then we go back, and if you're a perfectionist, sometimes what you'll do is you'll go back and you'll listen to your work. And so the next day after we sent it off, mind you, it's already out of our hands. There's not a whole lot we can do at this point. We send it off. We start listening to it, and it's like, oh my God. They're going to definitely come back to us, and they're going to say, okay, you need to change this, and this, and this. So Curtis starts, remastering and trying to, get things, tighten things up and blah, blah, blah. And so on Monday morning, lo and behold, it's been sent off. It's been approved. Because the last time we spoke of this with you guys, we were talking about how we were waiting the approval process and that it was going to take close to 2 weeks for the approval to take place. But at any rate, Monday morning we get up, it's already been sent for retail. So we're all good to go. The rights holder didn't come back and say that they wanted anything done to it. So I guess it sounded good.
Right. And it was at the same time, it was a little nervous. I was a little nerving about the whole issue there because I did, in fact, put a lot of time into it. And
again, this is a new project for the both of us.
for the both of us. But at the same time, the other half of it was that it was exciting because to hear on our first production, I would say, for an audiobook, it came and gone. It
came and gone.
Yeah, I mean, really, it came with just a lot of work to be, initially to begin with. Not that it's a lot of work, but when you're just starting out something, it's about getting your workflow together. And so that was an issue for us. Again, getting a workflow together to make sure that everything flows smoothly. But if it's your first time doing something of this nature, it's hard to have it flow smoothly, because it more than likely won't. But with that being said, we were able to eventually get the book out, and it's on its way to retail, as Jessica mentioned. And it's exciting. It's exciting, and it's kind of like, okay, what just happened? So it's a lot of fun, though. It's been cool, so I'm excited about it.
So yeah, now we have 2 more that we're working on. So we're all getting ready for that stress.
Right.
I don't stress eat. Oh, there I am talking about food. So you don't have to worry about me, but I am going to get cranky if I don't have my little plate of food eventually.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. With that being said, I've got just my last topic, and I'm going to be talking about an application for success. So, sorry about that. I want to end it with something positive, because, not that this show has been so horrible in a sense where we've had bad news, but great news. We've talked about pumpkin pie. We've talked about taking it off, and again, making a decision to change your mind about food, change your passion, if you will, and place it somewhere else, and again, change your perspective on how you see food or how you look at things. And remember, whether it's food or money or anything else, we're all dealing with something, and it comes from somewhere. So don't be afraid to look at the source of what your issue is and find out where it's coming from, because when you can find out where it's coming from, then you can take hold of it and deal with it and change. So that's the only way you're going to change, is to understand that, yes, you have an issue, I have an issue, and this is my problem, and I want to get down to the nuts and bolts of this matter and find out where this issue is. So with that being said, I'm talking about the perfect application for success. And the perfect application for success is going to include you, and it's going to include your smartphone or your iPad or tablet. And what I mean by that is that it's first going to include you. It's also going to include a note-taking application that you might have on one of your electronic devices. And it could be Evernote. It could be Notes there on the iPhone. It could be Day One. It could be an application called To Do, the number 2 and the letter D-O, To Do, as in a to-do list. And any one of those items will help aid you in creating the perfect recipe, the perfect application for success. So with that being said, one of the first items I have written down here is setting goals. Setting goals is going to be first and foremost. Any person who has endeavored to make something, create a recipe or build something, whatever the case might be, go to school, you needed to have a goal. You needed to have your concept, your idea in front of you. Again, if you're baking a cake, you need to look in your cabinet, your pantry, look in the refrigerator, ensure that you have butter, flour, eggs, and all those things that are associated with making a cake, the perfect cake. Again, setting goals is going to be paramount to creating the perfect application for success. So most of us have these devices. Again, first, it starts with you. And secondly, you have most of us have an iPhone or some kind of electronic device, smartphone or tablet or computer. So make use of those applications, because one, I'm totally guilty of just purchasing a lot of different applications. I have tons of them, and I mean, wow, I have tons of them, and the motivation starts off right, but after a while, I say, I don't like that app, and I haven't even used it. So in most cases, that's just what I'm dealing with, the same thing that you're dealing with. So again, the perfect application for success is going to include you and your smartphone. So make use of those smartphones, and know that you have the power to change whatever situation you're dealing with right now, whether it be in love with food, whether it be finances, whether it be anything. You have the power to change it, and it's in your hand. And again, start one by setting goals and recognizing that once you set your goals, you can be well on your way to making a change or creating the perfect application for your success. So with that being said, folks, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. My, where has the time gone? My goodness, it goes by so quick. All right, folks, with that being said, that spot that you just heard there, where you heard the awesome music, the kind of
futuristic,
the kind of like a sci-fi type deal that's going on.
Yeah.
That spot can be yours. We would like for you to take down our email address. That's going to be the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show at gmail.com. Once more, the Curtis and Jessica Variety Show at gmail.com. So take down that email address. Send us your information in regards to your idea, just how you want to advertise with us, or what your business is about. Give us some more information about it, detail if you like, or just summarize it with your information. And again, contact us there at our email account, and we would love to hear from you and make sure that your advertisement is here on our show, and more specifically, make sure that you have an opportunity to build your brand here on the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show.
Also, let's remind everybody
Right.
that those commercials that you're hearing, with the exception of the computer clinic, Curtis and I we put those together, so those are great. So
Right.
all you really need to do is just bring us some content,
Right.
your pertinent business information, and we'll go ahead and hook it up for you if you don't have a commercial to put on yourself.
Right. And one of the things, as Jessica mentioned, the commercial about the computer clinic, can't talk here, sorry about that. The commercial about the computer clinic, that commercial was in fact sent to us by a client, and he desired to have the commercial placed in a particular area throughout the show or arrangement. And we did just that. We took care of his needs there, and as it relates to his business and helping him build his brand right now as we're talking. So that opportunity can be yours as well here on the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show. Once more, our email address is going to be the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show at gmail.com. Once more, the Curtis and Jessica Variety Show at gmail.com. So with that being said, folks, we are down to our last couple of minutes in our show, and we're going to spin it over to Miss Jessica. What you got for us?
Nothing. Good night,
boy.
everyone. Thanks for sharing your time with us. We appreciate it, and we'll see you on Sunday.
All right, folks, we'll see you on Sunday.
Well, we won't see the people, but we'll be here on Sunday. Tune in.
All right, folks, good night.
Ciao.
Want more of the Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show? Find us live on Spreaker, Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Time. The Curtis and Jessica Variety Talk Show.